Hi folks, this is a follow-up video about my pencil tin microphone. So this is a pencil tin I bought, I think, for 50 pence from Oxfam. Inside it is two piezo mics, both of which have their own sort of jack input. So in a previous video I made this and we played with this, so it works as a microphone. It does work as a speaker, albeit a very, very quiet speaker. And the idea was, could you then have an input in the one sort of, input one, and then an output here, output two, or mic two, and the effect of the tin could affect the audio. Still something to play with, but in this video we'll look at just hearing it with and without reverb, using a very cheap EQ pedal that's designed for sort of piezo mics and or acoustic sort of guitars. We'll try and put some things inside the tin and hear how that sounds, and we'll do a little sort of jam at the end of the video. I still think there's further scope for investigating the way that the tin itself can affect the audio, with the sort of an input signal and output signal, and maybe some playing with the neutron and using that as a kind of noise source. Could be interesting, but this is just more of a sort of acoustic testing. Okay, let's go. Okay, test number one. We're just going to hear this without reverb and without delay from the lexicon. It's plumbed in, but I've just bypassed the effects. So this is just the microphone, or one of the mics, just dry. I will read first verse of my track, How Long?
On a cold February morning, I walked through my front door to find two pandas rearranging the furniture in my lounge, setting it up to look like a therapist's treatment room. One panda was lying on the sofa pretending to describe some childhood trauma, while the other panda pretended to take notes and nodded wisely while gently sucking on a small stem of bamboo. So there you go, that's with just a dry signal, no reverb, no delay. If we can put some reverb on that. On a cold February morning, I walked through my front door to find two pandas rearranging the furniture in my lounge, setting up to look like a therapist's treatment room. I do quite like this sound. I like how the reverb and the tinniness are sort of working together to give a nice sort of lo-fi, could be a good lo-fi song vocals. But I'm not a singer, so no singing from me.
Yes. Test number two. Can we use a pedal to help give us help improve the signal while still retaining the sort of the character of the tinny character? So this is an acoustic EQ pedal from Artec. I got this second hand. This was £20. I was listed for 30, but there was an issue with the phase button. So it's a bit dodgy. So in the end I got it for 20 quid. So that's like, pretty cheap, and like what's this, a couple of pounds to make. But this can give us quite an improved sound. So I'll just engage it and then dial in the sound.
No reverb, no delay. So the nice thing with this is we can take the treble away. So that trebliness, we can remove that. We've got a nice bit of volume boosting, and I can see on my sound card I'm even starting to clip there. MIDI Q, MIDI Q, MIDI Q, MIDI Q. So because of I think it's the impedance of these tiny microphones, they're going to tend to cut the bass frequencies. So therefore, I can cut the treble, cut the bass, cut the treble, boost the bass, boost the mids, and I've got quite a bit of gain there. Little bit of reverb, yeah. This is to my ears, much better sound. I continued my familiar yet alien journey into my kitchen, where I found three baboons wearing lab coats gathered around a human-shaped form they had baked from different sizes of bread. And if I bypass that, I continued my familiar yet alien journey into my kitchen, where I found 3 baboons wearing lab coats gathered around a human-shaped form they had baked from different sizes of bread. You can hear how the pedal really gives it a nice, just much more sort of body and volume. So that's an easy way to sort of improve the kind of a lo-fi mic like this. But to my ears, I can still hear the kind of lo-fi tinniness of the mic.
Now, another thing we can do is, because we've got essentially 2 mics in here, I can put both mics just into the board. So here we've got the first, this white cable just going into the Artec EQ pedal, and then, we've got reverb or not. This second black one is going into another channel of the mixer, and there I've got the really nice compressor in an insert. So then we've got sort of we can just record both mics at the same time, and we could hope that any loud peaks would be captured by the sort of the compressed channel, whether and everything else can be captured by the other channel. So so that gives us more sort of flexibility in a recording. And even obviously I do have a spare input on my sound card, so I could put one of my mics directly into the sound card, and then another going in via my mixer with an insert effect across it. And obviously I could have different insert effects across the 2 mics. So I could have one could be, again in this case, a compressor, and the other one could be a reverb, but one could be a delay, the other could be a crazy super flanging effect or something crazy like that.
So we've got the original preamped signal there that could have reverb or could be dry, and we've got also the compressed signal, and that should be, I've set the threshold really low, just so you can see the compressor working. Let's click on super nice mode. That's bypassed. That's with the compressor. So I mean, I've got quite extreme settings on the compressor, but that's definitely working. Or just I'm driving the compressor. That's the second signal, and again there, I still think we're having the sort of the tinniness of the box, but maybe a much better, nicer signal. Let's go for verse 3. I climbed the stairs, pulling myself up on the wooden banister, and walked into the spare bedroom where a shaggy sloth was slowly unpicking the threads of an old yellow carpet and carefully weaving a nest from the tired yarn. And as I say, the compressed signal is capturing any peaks.
Coming on to the much more experimental ideas now. Somebody in the previous video in the comments talked about steel ball bearings. Don't have any of those. I do have some of these old marbles. We call these in the UK. I don't know what these would be called in the States. Glass spheres. Marbles. So I got... Whoa! Okay, I'm going to find that in a minute, because I'll trip on that and break my neck if I don't find it. It's not ideal because they do sort of interfere with the electronics. But let's give this a go. I've got delay on and reverb because I think that might be quite interesting. Unusual, isn't it? And just dry, totally dry. I don't really know what that sounds like, if it's meant to sound like anything, but top and tailing a song, experimental noise music. Could be a thing, couldn't it? Okay, for the next test, just a little bit of Lego. You see that? I've just gone for, like, you know, sort of small pieces that I found in my big box of Lego. Let's okay, let's give it you dry and then affected. I mean, it's sort of interesting, sort of sound designy stuff in it, but nothing about the Lego was super amazing. Given the convenient shape of this mic, though, we can just also mic up the entire Lego box. This is white rice. This is macaroni. Final food experiment, we'll go couscous, which in my hands makes for an excellent shaker. I think of the food ones, that's my favourite. Not really sure what it's reminding me of, but I don't mind the idea. Improvised brass instrument microphone, of course, does depend on how big your brass instrument is. In this case, this will fit down the bell. That didn't sound too bad. That might make an interesting sample instrument. We got a thin line tele here, and I'm just holding the mic on with my arm. We can do some sort of rudimentary acoustic recordings using this mic, and I'm using both I'm using both mics, so the delay and reverb channel and the compressed channel. So you can definitely get sort of an interesting sort of timbre out of an electric guitar or electro. You know, well, I mean, this is an electric guitar, but it does have obviously some hollow chambers because it's a thin line. But yeah, you know, it's another potential idea. Let's finish with a little play out using the toy piano from a previous video. Now this is the one with the sort of new front panel, which does have a piezo mic inside it, and there's just an input for that there. But in this case, I'm just using the pencil tin microphone, just laying it on top of the piano. I am using the compressed channel, I'm using the reverb channel and the preamp pedal. Nice and simple.